Hey everyone, welcome to the Commissioners Clubhouse on the LCC Network for week 15 of the fantasy offseason in our fantasy league. We've got nothing but good stuff for you guys today. With us in this episode, we've got none other than Isaac.
Hello, mate.
and there's Jameson.
Hey, everyone. Another exciting week 15. This guy, no accent. A couple of announcements. Follow us on Twitter at the LCC Lovehouse, the LC Clubhouse. and it's so weird to say it that way. The LC Clubhouse, and comment on videos on our group me. We've got future giveaways for viewers, people who comment on the YouTube channel. Should we tell them what we got, Pat, or should it be a surprise for another episode? What do you think?
Free hand jobs.
No, that's not what we got.
No, I guess it just depends. Are we going to be doing the giveaway next week?
We'll do it next week. So we can announce it this week. We're going to announce it via text. We can announce it on next week's episode. We've got something to give away. It's signed memorabilia. We'll announce that later. So be sure to start commenting on videos. Tell us what you like. Everyone that comments will be entered to win some memorabilia. We'll do this throughout the off season and season as well. So
yeah, I mean, my signature goes for a pretty penny nowadays.
Yeah, it's Isaac's signature on a Buccaneers jersey.
Yes, Isaac signed his Little League Buccaneers jersey, and we are giving it away for
nothing.
Your own personal use, whatever you want to use it for. Wiping yourself.
It's going to a good cause, you know.
Washing dishes,
drying
dishes,
dry your dogs off after a bath.
Hey, I need that. This is the first time I've seen sun in 2 weeks right now. As I'm seeing the sun go down in the window.
I feel bad.
I could use that jersey right now.
That's just sounds depressing. This week we've got rookie buy or sell. So like we talked about rookie episodes this week, next week. So be sure to listen to those. And we've got we got 10 through 6 all-time rookie players in LCC history. And then we'll wrap up the show with a quick game of the week reveal. So without further ado, guys, we're just gonna jump straight into it today. So here we go.
Hey.
All right.
Hey.
These are guys.
You sound so white doing that. Please stop.
Hey.
Guys that we're buying the hype on. We've talked a little bit about a few of these guys back in probably a little over a month ago, I guess now, but we're going to talk about a few others. We've each got a guy that we're buying and selling, and then a couple honorable mentions. So we try to pick different players this time. We want you guys to be aware of what's going on as we enter the real draft, which is about 2 weeks from now, and then of course the rookie draft, which takes place about a month after that. So feel free to ask us any other questions, but we want to talk about these guys here real quick. So, guys, we'll just go all of our buying players, and then we'll go all of our selling players that way. So I'll kick it off here. I've got Taylor Rapp, strong safety out of Washington. I like him a lot. I think he's a really high valued rookie. I think he's going to start right away. Some of the metrics, things I've read on him, he's good football IQ. He's a great tackler who makes a great run defender. When I'm looking for a safety in fantasy football, at least in our format, I'm looking for a tackler. You know, I'm not looking for someone who necessarily has great ball skills, who's high pointing footballs and making interceptions. I want someone who's getting tackles, getting me points. He has the highest tackling efficiency of any of the safeties in his class. He's great. He's a great edge rusher off the blitz. He reminds me a lot of a guy like Harrison Smith, really smart, zone heavy defender who can blitz, stop the run, plays up in the box. Not someone that's going to be great in man coverage, which is okay. That's not what I'm leaning on as a fantasy owner. Some of the cons, not a lot of lateral quickness. He doesn't, like I mentioned, he kind of doesn't have great hands, lacks the deep coverage awareness. But when you're looking at safeties, guys who can be instant starters on your fantasy team in real life and get tackles, look at Taylor Rapp. I think there's going to be a lot of good value for him. He's going to go late first, early second in the real draft. Probably if you can get him for a 4th or a 5th round pick in our draft, I think that's great value. Depending on where he lands. I'm going to be watching that. So if he goes to a place like the Cowboys or the Seahawks or the Niners or the Giants, I'm going to be way more interested than if he were to go to a team that's already got a lot of depth at the safety position. So But yeah, that's my buying player. Feel free to look to him as we move to the rookie draft. Feel free to ask me questions. But what are your guys' thoughts on him? Have you looked at him into him a lot?
Garbage.
Oh, Isaac.
I'm just kidding. Nah,
Yeah.
I was a big fan of his. I talked about him off the show before, especially before our last episode. We talked about rookies, and you said you weren't impressed with his combine stats. I'm like, not everybody tests well, but
Yeah.
if you watch this guy play, I mean, he's a baller. So I mean, it didn't really bother me that much. But yeah, I mean, I've always been a pretty big fan of his.
Yeah, and it did bother me at first because his combine stats aren't impressed. Some of them are actually in line with Harrison Smith, and some of them aren't. I wasn't super impressed, but then I thought about it. I was like, he doesn't have to have great hands. He doesn't have to have a lot of lateral quickness. He's playing in the box. He's making tackles, and that's what I need in fantasy. So I'm not going to overpay for him, but if you can get him at the right value, I think he's a good pick. So, but if you guys don't have any other comments, I mean, we can move on to Isaac's buy candidate here.
Yeah, we don't want to hear what Pat says anyway.
All right, Isaac.
Yeah, I really didn't. I didn't have much to add to that.
Okay.
All right.
Go ahead, Isaac.
So my guy is Mr. Bush. Devin Bush. from Michigan. He's a sideline to sideline, speed kills type of prototype linebacker. He can blitz. He gets tons of tackles of loss and sacks. And he could also cover running backs and tight ends. He had 10 pass deflections in the last 2 years at Michigan. It might not seem like a lot, but in college, it's up there. He also ran a 4.43 in the 40-yard dash, which was second in linebackers, which is freaking ridiculous for a linebacker.
That's booking.
And then he ran a 6.93 second three-cone drill, which is fifth place. So it shows that he can go. He's got fast twitch, sideline. Like, that's the type of guy that you could build a defense around. He played in the Big Ten Conference, which, I mean, that's great competition for him. The only really knock on him is he's under 6 feet. He's 5'11". But, I mean, the man's got a 40.5-inch vertical, so kind of makes up for it a little bit. But my pro comparison, I got Levante David, my boy. Shout out Tampa Bay.
Again.
So I'm just going to compare these two stats back to back. Devin Bush is 5'11", Levante David's 6'1". They weigh about the same, about 233. Devin Bush has a fourth inch longer arms, so a fourth, like nothing. And Devin Bush has got a little bit bigger hands, so physically they're about the same. Like I said, David's just a tad bit taller. But this guy, since he performs so well, he's going to go in the top 15. I feel like locked. The Bengals are a really good option, especially since they let go of Perfect. And they've just lacked a really good linebacker since I can remember. So, yeah, he's the second best linebacker in this class besides Devin White, which I've already talked about in the previous episode. So if you haven't listened, go back and listen to it. If not, then, yeah, this is my guy.
Awesome. No, I agree. Does anybody remember the top 3 linebackers taken off the board last year in the real NFL draft? You guys know who the 3 were?
I guess it depends. Do you count Myles Garrett as one of the linebackers taken?
No, like true linebackers.
You talking about the real NFL?
Tremaine Edmonds, right?
Yeah, Tremaine Edmonds.
Tremaine Edmonds. For the Bears, I'm blanking right now on the name.
Roquan Smith.
Yeah.
Roquan Smith.
There's one more.
And Leighton Vander Esch.
Leighton Vander Esch. Exactly.
Yep.
Top 3 guys taken off the board last year, all in the first round. And they all, how'd they do in fantasy? Leighton Vander Esch was 4. Tremaine Edmonds was what, 13? Or something, 12, 11, something like that. And Roquan Smith was a top 15 linebacker too. So
yeah,
guys that are going to plug into starting roles right away with tons of talent that are athletically gifted. They're instant premium players. So guys like Devin Bush, I mean, I'm going to pay a high pick for. Bush. Yeah.
He tested better than all of those guys.
Yeah.
On paper. Like,
I love him. I've seen him going a lot of places. I love him. I love Devin White. Pay up for him, guys. I mean, these are first, second round pick guys, I think.
Everybody needs to get involved in the rookie draft. There's a lot of value there.
So wait,
don't be scared risk a pick. I mean,
Jameson,
sometimes it's hit or miss.
Maybe I misunderstood. Did you say they're worth a first round pick in our
Yes,
draft?
absolutely. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh God, no, dude.
Oh
You've
yeah.
lost your mind.
Absolutely, man. Are you kidding me? Name a
No,
better
man.
linebacker you're gonna get off the draft than a guy like Devin White, who I think
Well, you can't.
can be a top 5 guy next year, a top 5 linebacker. Absolutely.
Yeah, Pat, I would say I would give up a first round pick for Devin White.
Oh yeah. Leighton was 4 and didn't even
No.
start for 2 games. Leighton was 4 in a 3-4 defense.
I just think
He
you
was in
guys
the
are getting in
4-3.
the.
Oh, he's in a 4. He's
the,
outside though. He was outside for
Yeah.
most of it. Yeah.
I think you guys are getting into the trend syndrome, which I'll talk about a little bit later.
No, I really
in
think
the podcast.
it's your hard headedness. You really feel like you should go for the top names and don't spend high picks on things that you don't know. You don't like taking risks. You're very conservative.
No, I don't mind taking a risk, but here's the deal: most people aren't going to give up a first round pick.
You also
for either one of
said you
those
wouldn't
guys.
draft Saquon Barkley at the first round pick last year.
No, I said I
You
would.
said
That's why I gave up a first round pick. I literally
Patrick did give up a
gave
first
up a first round pick.
He did for Saquon. But what I'm getting at is if no one else gives up a first round pick, then no, I wouldn't do that. I'm going to play the game, obviously. But if I had to, I absolutely would. I can't think of a linebacker that's going to be in the draft that I think I would want more than Devin White or Devin Bush. I mean,
especially with keepers and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, with all I don't know who's going to be there. I mean, can you guys think of one that's going to be available? Like Wesley Woodyard? Like, no thanks. I'm not, I'm not Darren Lee. No, I mean, no thanks.
He's on the trading block, actually.
Oh, is he? No, but yeah, Devin Bush, man. If I can get Devin Bush for a second round pick, I would be elated. I would be so happy.
Yeah,
so
happy.
happy.
You also got to think the Jets got C.J. Mosley, and then they already got Avery Williamson. Darren Lee's the odd man out. He's on the block, so you could keep.
Well, I mean, I don't know Darren Lee specifically. I'm just throwing out guys off the top of my head that I know won't be kept, and I just don't know who. Jordan Hicks maybe would be the. I mean, Joe Schobert maybe would be the best one.
Yeah,
maybe.
I had him going in the first round.
Just assess what's there. Obviously, there's a lot of value. Don't go that way, but just assess what's there. And what I've looked at so far, I love Devin Bush or Devin White with a high pick, for sure. But Patrick disagrees with us, which is okay.
That's fine. Yeah. We'll draft him and we'll beat his ass when we play him. I mean, that's cool. That's
no, but I mean, Patrick did. He got Tremaine Edmonds last year, and he did. I mean, it was great. It was a great value. He picked him higher than we would have, and it paid off. He was a top 12 linebacker last season in our format.
Granted,
and that's what I want.
Only reason he was so successful is Darius Leonard. Don't get that cross between anything, but he was very solid for him last year.
But what I'm saying is, rookie linebacker
Tremaine Edmonds was well worth the 6th round pick.
I'm not saying he's not, but I didn't want people to say like one player can turn around a season.
One player can.
Edmonds would have been worth a second round pick with how consistent he was. How well he scored, for sure. And I think Devin White can be even better than that.
Oh yeah.
And Devin Bush, both of them. Bush.
Devin White could be. I feel like he's going to be under Leonard, but he's going to be in that 40 point per game range.
On the right team. I think the team matters a lot, the opportunity in the spot. But if he does
worst case, he's a solid. Yeah, worst case, he's a solid 30 points per game player. Best, he could be 40 plus.
If I can guarantee 30 points with my first round pick, I'm doing it. Absolutely. And there's no one else there I think I would want more.
All right,
that's
Pat,
okay.
we'll have about your guy.
Yeah, Pat, who's your buy guy?
All right.
Buy guy.
All right. I went a little bit different approach here. Jameson and Isaac obviously went defensive players, so I felt like someone had to pick an offensive player. I went with no other than Noah Fant. This is a guy I really love at the tight end position. Although our league doesn't really value tight ends very highly because of our rules, most fantasy leagues out there, you have to start a tight end. And if I'm in one of those leagues, Noah Fant is a guy I'm seriously looking at. In our league, I'm still definitely looking at, especially if you have a roster like myself with, well, I guess I have better receivers this year, but still trying to improve that. Anyways, Noah Fant right now, hands down, the best athlete at tight end in the real NFL draft. ran a 4.5 in the 40-yard dash, which means this guy's going to challenge many NFL linebackers when they're guarding him in coverage. Had nearly 1 touchdown for every 4 catches at Iowa. I want you to think about that.
That is
That is
insane.
nuts.
That is insane.
That is a crazy statistic. It's remarkable what he was able to do there with, an average college quarterback, in my opinion. Definitely not like an elite guy throwing him the football. Some of the cons, which there are not many that really jump out at me, but needs to work on getting out of press coverage and dealing with defenders battering him in coverage as well within that first 5 yards. He's a guy that doesn't do great when he is pressed. He's big enough to where and fast enough to where he should be able to maneuver out of that. But for some reason, he kind of struggles with that. One quote that I read off NFL.com, he doesn't have a ton of grit. And that is something you kind of worry about in a guy that's playing in the trenches, like in the tight end position. Doesn't play, my opinion, to his potential in terms of his strength. And also his hand size, which this is kind of nitpicky, is in the 43rd percentile of all tight ends in the draft. So kind of below average there. The guy I'm comparing him to is Eric Ebron. They are literally the same height and only like maybe 3 or 4 pounds different in size as well. They're both athletic tight ends, definitely more of a receiving tight end here with Fant. And I think that's what you're going to get out of him is, that like, I don't want to compare him to Zach Ertz because there's a lot to be proven here, but that type of receiving tight end is kind of what I see here. I see him going mid to late first round of the NFL draft. Fantasy mocks
in the real draft,
the NFL draft. Yeah, that's what I said. The NFL draft. Fantasy mocks have him going around the same time as Golden Tate. I would take Fant over Golden Tate. You're going to get more longevity there. You're going to get a guy who's probably at this point just as fast as Golden Tate. I mean, Golden Tate's been around since what, thinking out loud, like 2009?
Yeah, I think it's 2009. I think you're right.
2009, 2008, something like that. And I'll take that. If I had a choice between them, I'm going to take a risk on a guy like Fant and hope that he ends up in a place like New England where they need a tight end where he's going to be super successful. And I'm really big on this guy. This is a guy I'm seriously buying as not only a real life NFL player, but as a fantasy player too.
Yeah, I think my only notes, 2 things. One, it's funny that you compared him to Eric Ebron because I remember the hate you had for Eric Ebron in last season when you picked him up for that one game and he gave you 0 points.
Oh,
and
yeah.
You were like, I've never played with this guy again. So I thought that was funny. But I understand your comparison though. The other thing, so I'm not as big on tight ends in our format. Outside of Ertz and Kelsey, there's no one that I typically would start. And Kittle. I forgot about Kittle. That I would start. There's a lot of young guys like Mike Gesicki, Evan Ingram, Hayden Hurst, OJ Howard, David Njoku that are insanely talented. They just haven't been able to be fantasy relevant in the LCC. It's good that you bring up New England because if he goes to New England, I'm way more on board than I am right now. And that's not just to give him all of Rob Gronkowski's talent and stats and receptions and stuff, but to have him in a role an experienced quarterback like that on a team that loves to use tight ends. I think he would be a lot better. It's really going to be a lot about the fit for me come draft time, like where I see him in the draft, just because I don't value tight ends as much. But I mean, I think it's a good assessment of his talent though, for sure. But where would you draft him in the rookie draft, Patrick? Like, what would you be willing to give up for him?
I'm not going to give, like we talked about, I mean, tight ends aren't as valuable in our league. I could see him coming in, and some people may think I'm crazy, as like a top 6 tight end in this coming year.
What?
It just kind of depends on where he goes. Like, if he goes to New England, try to argue against that. I just don't see how you can.
No, I do like him in New England.
I'll spit off some names. Here. Anyone remember the time when you had Aaron Hernandez and Gronk on the same team?
Of course.
I mean, I think every tight end who's ever been in New England has been good. So
Dwayne Allen was garbage.
Dwayne Allen. Yeah, not Dwayne Allen.
Okay, Dwayne Allen, but that's Dwayne Allen. Come on. anyways, what I'm getting at is I would probably take him maybe 10th round.
Yeah,
That's kind of what I just
that's what I was thinking. At that point, it's like you're pretty much shooting in the dark anyway. Might as well shoot in
Yeah,
the dark
that's
at a young, prove it type person.
Well, you're known to do this, Pat, because
exactly.
you got Hayden Hurst last year too. It's like you're known to take these shots at
Yeah.
these young guys, these tight ends.
That was the
Yeah, I
stupidest
mean-
decision.
I mean, it was my 16th.
It was a
round pick
late.
or
It was a
something
late
crazy.
pick.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna give me a third string quarterback at that point. I mean,
He just wanted
very
a South
few
Carolina
people-
player. That's all they wanted.
yeah, that's pretty much it. I wanted one of my favorite tight ends in South Carolina history. But anyways, I'm getting off the point there. That's kind of where I see him is. I mean, I gave up a 16th or something like that for Hayden Hurst last year. That's how much I think of Fant. I would be willing to give up a 10th for him.
Yeah, we'll see where he goes. I can't remember if we have it scheduled or not. I think we have a post-draft episode in a couple weeks after the real NFL draft to kind of talk about some of these things. So I'd be very interested to see where he goes and what we see his value to be after that. But so yeah, I mean, those are our 3 buying players. A couple of so we'll move into the selling players now.
Wait. Go ahead with our honorable mentions on the buyers.
Oh, you want to do that? You want to do the honorable mentions buyer? Okay. So we had a couple. Yeah, we had a couple honorable mentions here that we didn't list, but that we like. Some of us like more than others. Deebo Samuel out of USC. This is more Isaac's thing, I guess. I'm not huge on him.
Yeah. Read the caption.
You mean like read his name or read the NFL comp beneath him?
No, read his name from start to finish.
I'm not going to read his name from start to finish. Not on the show.
I put Deebo Mother Beep Samuel.
5'11", 214. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what Deebo's role is going to be. I'm not as big on him as you guys are. I could see him maybe like a Cooper Kupp role on the right team. Maybe. I don't know.
I really could see him going to the Packers and filling that Randall Cobb void that, his stock would skyrocket up if he went either on the Patriots, like a pass-heavy team. Because, I mean, Deebo Samuel, as most of, hopefully, well, I know there's some Clemson players, but most people that are listening probably know who he is or cheer for the Gamecocks, and they know how talented he is.
Well, he's
even against big competition. He was a prove-it type player.
I think one of my other
so like we said,
concerns with him is that because he is a player from South Carolina, that he might go higher in our rookie draft than maybe he should go. Because I've seen that a lot with Panthers players.
Oh,
and,
sure,
you know what I mean? Someone's going to say,
take
7th pick on Deebo. And I'm like, whoa, that's ridiculously high, for someone like that. But, I mean, we'll see what happens. I think he definitely is talented. The NFL comp to Golden Tate doesn't make me excited, but it is what it is. He's, we'll see what happens with him. I think he is talented. And then we've got Hakeem Butler.
Golden Tate when he was with the Seahawks.
No, he was
a beast.
Yeah, he was fantasy. He was a fantasy darling for sure.
I'm not talking about the old Golden Tate with a crutch out there now. It's more of the young Seahawks before he even moved on.
Yeah, Golden Tate was really
He was
good.
pretty solid. I mean, we'll see.
He was wide receiver 1.
Oh yeah, back in the day. And then we've got Hakeem Butler, 6'5", 227. Isaac Compton and Megatron, based on his size. I've seen his highlight reels. The dude catches everything, and he high points the ball too. He's so large. I think he could be insanely talented if he were to go to a team like the Chiefs, who already have a burner and would like a big guy on the outside like that, a red zone threat. Besides Kelsey, I would love him in a place like that. Green Bay.
Imagine he goes to Tampa, him and Mike Evans, and you move Chris Godwin to the slot.
I mean, that'd be great it might not be great for Mike Evans, but it'd be great for everybody else, I think. It might not be great for Chris Godwin either.
As a Mike Evans owner, you wouldn't want that. But
I don't want that.
As a Bucks fan, that would be awesome.
I do not want that as a Mike Evans owner.
Hakeem Butler trained with Megatron and spent a lot of this offseason and this draft preparation learning to try to perfect his craft. And Megatron says, I see so much of myself in him. And if you guys don't know, Megatron Calvin Johnson, the legendary wide receiver out of Detroit Lions.
God. If you don't know, you need to leave.
If you don't know, why are you listening? No one listening to this show doesn't know who Megatron is. I guarantee it. Absolutely guarantee it.
Maybe they're thinking about a Transformer. I don't know.
A Transformer.
Anyway.
No, yeah, I like Hakeem Butler a lot, though. Plus the value of him over a guy like DK Metcalf, who may be more talented, but you're going to have to pay a lot higher draft price for a guy like DK than you will for Hakeem Butler. So
Hakeem Butler's a sleeper.
He definitely is. And again, where he goes, like Noah Fant, like if he goes to the right team, I'm much more on board.
Honestly, Hakeem Butler can go to one of the crappiest teams, and he's still worth a flyer on. Honestly,
if he goes to like a place like Buffalo, or I actually like Josh Allen. If he goes to a place like Washington, I'm definitely not as on board as I would be in another team for sure. Or
of
like
course,
Miami.
there'd be certain.
Oh, you don't want that. You don't want that. So a couple players selling. We'll kind of speed up a little bit here, but I've got Riley Ridley, wide receiver out of Georgia, that I am selling. He catches the ball great. He runs routes great. Played in the SEC, lots of great competition. He lacks speed, elusiveness, run after the catch ability. He's a guy that I think people are looking at because of his brother. Calvin Ridley had such a successful season in Atlanta. But I don't like players who can't break big plays. That's how you get fantasy points. The way he is a great route runner. He catches the ball well. He reminds me a lot of a guy like Michael Crabtree. He catches the balls off the routes, but he's not a number one receiver with big playability. And he's going to be someone that's going to have to catch a lot of touchdowns to be fantasy relevant. And in his first season, I don't think it's going to happen. So I think if you pay for Riley Ridley higher than an 11th or 12th round pick, I think you're just wasting your time there, unfortunately. So I'm not big on him. Not this year. At least not. Yeah, at least not this year.
I mean, he was good at Georgia, but I'm going to wait to see how he performs and where he goes and everything else. He's one of those crock pot cookers for like a year.
Yeah.
And see how it goes. Unless he bursts on the scene like halfway.
I just can't think of where he would go where I would be really excited, because he's not going to be a number one anywhere. And he doesn't have the speed to break off plays like Tyreek Hill. He at least could catch something short and take it 85 yards. Like Riley really can't do stuff like that. So I just don't know where I would feel good about him being, If he's on a bad team, he's a number one, but he's on a bad team. If he's not, he's a number 3 or number 4. I don't know. I'm just not super excited about him. But
word. All right. Well, my guy is Devin Singletary, running back out of Florida Atlantic. Great vision, elusiveness, trucking. I mean, if you watch some of his tape, he's a really small guy, but he will dish out some punishment. Like I said, he's really small. That's kind of one of his cons. Doesn't have the best breakaway speed that you want, 4.66 in the 40. Now, I actually did some digging. Now, this is really crazy as far as comp comparisons. I compared him to Danny Woodhead. They're both 5'7". Devin Singletary weighed 8 more pounds. He weighs 203. Danny Woodhead weighed 195. They have almost the same arms, and Danny Woodhead's got a little bit bigger hands. If that puts in the perspective of kind of what he's going to do, he's a scat back. He's going to catch the ball. He's going to break some yardage and get some touchdowns, but he's not going to be a workhorse like Le'Veon, Fournette, McCaffrey. He's just not built that way. He was considered a top 5 prospect, but he really tested bad. And now he's projected about the 4th or 5th round in the NFL draft, and he was in the 3rd and 4th round consideration. He's going to be a draftable player, but it's going to be in the later rounds, around like that 10th round, where you can just shoot in the dark and just hope to find the next Kamara or the Hunt, or I was going to say Chubb, but he wasn't relevant until the year after. But, take flyers on these young rookie guys to try to find some studs. But, yeah, his draft stock's falling. I feel like his fantasy stock is obviously falling with that. And I don't know. I was high on him, and now I'm not so much.
What's his can he catch the ball? No, for real. Like, can he catch the ball?
He's got to do something if he's running a 4.66.
He's got to do something.
At 203 pounds.
I mean, he's tiny, man. Like, normally guys like that, they at least catch the ball or something, or they're at least quick. Like Darren Sproles is quick, But if he's not quick and he
Yeah.
doesn't catch a ball and he's that small, what's he going to do? Like that is a little bit of a concern, you know?
He can catch, but if you watch just some of his highlights, he really does have great vision. He's like Le'Veon Bell, like patient vision. So
You got to when you're that slow.
exactly.
Yeah. Well, it's not the fact that he has great vision. He's trying to get moving, but it's taking so long he has time to see everything. It's like actually that is actually close to Kareem Hunt's 40 time. I don't know if you guys know that or not. But Kareem Hunt actually ran like a 4.6. But Kareem Hunt's a lot bigger. Kareem Hunt's like 5'11", 220 pounds or something like that. You know, and caught the ball great. I don't know. Devin Singletary, those stats are not impressive.
Well, his argument in the real life is it's the same height as Barry Sanders. I had no idea that Barry Sanders was 5'7".
My wife's the same height as Barry Sanders.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
He's just saying Barry Sanders, he's just saying he can't be successful despite his weight. I mean his height.
Well, a guy like MJD,
it's not his height that worries me. I mean,
it's the combination.
It's his speed.
Yeah, the speed, the weight.
It's his speed and the weight.
I mean, normally guys that are 4'6" are 225 pounds. You know, 203 pounds.
I'm thinking Eddie Lacy.
Like Josh Jacobs,
a young Eddie Lacy.
Yeah.
I'm thinking as far as punishment, small frame. He's lightweight, so he's going to get tossed around and he's going to get demolished. He's obviously not fast enough like a Tariq Cohen to run around you or Darren Sproles. He's just going to get caught and just punished. But like I said, he can lay punishment too, so maybe that works to his advantage. I don't know, but I'm just not high on
it. Sorry, Devin. Maybe next time.
Hope you're not listening.
Hope you're not listening. All right, Pat.
Or actually, I hope you are. That means we're getting pretty popular.
That means we are popular. Who's yourself, Patrick?
So my sell is none other than Drew Lock out of Missouri. He was a guy going into the 2018 college football season I was actually really excited about. I remember on my way driving out here to Oregon, drove right by Missouri Stadium. I even took a couple pictures outside of it. And I was thinking, oh man, this is cool. This is where Drew Lock is, future, NFL talent, really great quarterback, blah, blah, blah. Well, here I am in April of 2019, and I'm saying, nope. Some of the pros he does have a strong arm. He's a guy that is going to take chances. You can look at that as a pro or as a con. Brett Favre was a guy that took a lot of chances.
Jameis Winston's also a guy that takes a lot of chances.
Yes, he does.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some intentional, some not.
Exactly. He's seen strong defenses in his college career. This is a guy that's played in the SEC since day one. I mean, I know there's SEC haters out there, but you can't deny that Drew Lock has seen some strong defenses since he's been a starter as a Tiger. He's rarely been sacked. This is another pro that I actually do like about him. His awareness is great. When he's in the pocket, he's kind of fidgety. If you watch him, he's not the guy who's going to sit there and get blown up like a guy like back in the 90s, like Drew Bledsoe. You know what I mean? Like he's a guy that does a great job. Yep, Tom Brady. Tom Brady. If you look career wise, person never gets sacked
because he gets the ball.
More so
but
now,
he's not going to scramble. It's Tom Brady's going to throw it away. He's going to get sacked.
It's his release. And this obviously leads to a healthier career. And the reason why I say that, look at a guy like David Carr, who is probably one of the most sacked quarterbacks as a rookie and NFL quarterback in general. And I believe part of his woes was the fact he never had an offensive line. Some of the cons for Drew Lock, for sure. This is just so funny to me. Mock drafts have him going possibly to the Broncos or Chargers. That's generally what I've seen and hearing on social media and regular media. Fantasy mocks have him going around the same time as Andy Dalton. Me personally, I'd rather have Andy Dalton. I'm more excited about that offense than him being the backup of the Chargers or him being potentially the starter of the Broncos with an aging receiving core. Majority of it aging. NFL.com has his comparison as Matt Stafford. I'm sorry, I just don't see that. And it's not because I'm a huge Matt Stafford fan. I just don't think he's going to be nearly as good as Matt Stafford.
Was.
But his combine, yeah, you're right. But his combine results, despite what NFL.com says, and I literally I looked it up and I'm looking at it now, much closer to Charlie Fry, Christian Hackenberger, and David Green. Those are his combine results. That is the level we were talking about. There was a 91% match to Dan Lefevre from Central Michigan 2010. Does anyone remember him? Because I don't.
LaFleur?
That is the closest. Yeah. Dan LaFleur from Central Michigan in 2010. If that is the closest you have to a combine comparison, we need to stop talking about this guy as a first round talent quarterback. The Browns will tell you Charlie Fry didn't work out too hot for them.
Well, hold on. Christian Hackenberg was a starter in the AAF like 2 weeks ago. So
And
I don't
then
know.
he got benched.
And then he got benched in the AAF.
Oh man. Another NFL legend I forgot to mention that he's compared to, Zach Dysart from Miami, but not University of Miami in Florida, Miami, Ohio from 2013. There's an 84% match there. So if you're looking at Drew Lock and you're really excited and you're a Broncos fan, think twice, my friend. Or maybe you're just an optimist and you're really thinking this guy is going to be great. Like many Panthers fans thought about Jimmy Clausen when we first drafted him. Yeah. And back to my risk-taking thing, I consider that, honestly, more as a con. His throws are very inconsistent, and some people relate that to, well, he's a risk-taker. Look at Brett Favre. Like, that's an NFL legend that took plenty of risks. Well, there's a difference between taking a risk and throwing behind someone's back, all right? That's not a risk. That's just called failure.
It's just
as a thrower. I mean,
It's called you suck.
Yeah. So Drew Lock is a guy that if I'm drafting as an NFL GM, I'm not super thrilled about it. And if I'm getting him as a fantasy owner, I'm dropping him seconds after I accidentally added him to my roster because there's no one I really want to drop to get Drew Lock. I'm sorry. I really don't see it. I think there's better quarterbacks out there than this guy, and for NFL purposes and fantasy purposes.
Yeah, there's not a quarterback in the real NFL in the draft, the 2019 draft, that I have seen more like love and hate from. Like I've seen like reports about GMs just hate the guy, and then other reports where they're like, "Oh, we love him. He's going to be a top 10 pick. He'll definitely be a first round pick, but in fantasy, completely irrelevant." Guys like Joe Flacco are going to be more fantasy relevant than him, and Joe Flacco's been nothing in fantasy. So don't even consider him. Don't pick him up. Don't add him to waiver wire. Don't do anything.
I think Ryan Fitzpatrick is more fantasy relevant than he is.
Well, that's Fitzmagic, man. Of course that is. That's Fitzmagic. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I forgot to mention this too. I've got him going in the first 2 rounds of the NFL draft. I think someone is going to draft him. There's just a couple teams out there that are in need of a quarterback, like the Broncos, like the Chargers,
the Redskins,
even
the Dolphins,
the Redskins, the Patriots have to start thinking about getting a replacement.
The
for
Giants,
Brady, the Giants. The list goes on and on. There is a need for young quarterback talent, and someone's going to get him in the first 2 rounds, and someone's going to end up on an NFL montage of terrible draft picks in NFL history. And you're going to see Drew Lock on there.
What if he becomes your Mitch Trubisky? Like what Mitch Trubisky is to me? What if he becomes that to you? Where every year you're just like, no, Drew Lock's not going to do anything. And then he just like tears it up game after game after game after game. Like that would be, that'd be so
crazier
funny.
Things have happened. Crazier things have happened.
They have. No, but yeah, so that's, I agree with all that. Your rookie segments, that's 6 guys there. And on top of the 12 guys we mentioned on the first show. So far we've talked about 18 rookie players, for the rookie draft coming up in May. So,
and
go ahead.
One more thing. So,
oh god,
some people also bring up the fact
you
that
hate this guy.
Well, Tom Brady didn't have a great NFL combine. Yeah, Tom Brady didn't, but Tom Brady won games that he should have won in college at University of Michigan. Whereas, I mean, this guy lost to South Carolina, and I'm a Gamecock fan, but I know our defense wasn't that good, and he somehow managed to lose to us.
Dude, that was a good game. So I gotta admit that.
Yeah, but if you're a Drew Lock fan, you you had to start thinking doubts in your head as soon as you watched that game.
Patrick does not like this. I like how you came back to the segment. You're like, wait, one more thing. He sucks. He really sucks. Wait. He lost to us. He sucks. No, but yeah, Pat. Let's move into the top 10 rookies in LCC history, 10 through 6. You ready?
Let's do it.
All right, cool. I'm gonna play. We got our sound drops back. Hold on,
game.
1 second. 1 second. Here we go. Ready?
Number 10.
What?
And me and Isaac don't know who this is, by the way. We haven't heard any of this. But.
Yeah, they literally have not seen any of these. I know you guys absolutely hate it when I do honorable mentions, but I'm literally going to sprint through this real quick because I had to make a
sprint
list of
through
18
like
players.
15 seconds.
We got to hurry. We're way behind.
Yeah. All right, 18. AJ Green.
18.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And just, I mean, granted, these guys had good years. There's nothing against this. Like, we've been around 10 years. Great. There's a lot of rookies that have been really good. So AJ Green ends up number 18 this rookie season. Mike Williams, number 17.
Shout out Tampa
I know
Bay.
Isaac remembers that guy.
Yeah.
Right, Tampa or San Diego or Los Angeles Chargers?
Tampa Bay.
Tampa. Okay. No.
Yeah. He 65 receptions, 964 yards, 11 touchdowns. Great year. Jeremy Hill, number 16, finished 11th in his position, 39 overall. Finkel Einhorn made the playoffs with him, but lost in the first round to Daquan. Trent Richardson, number 15, finished ninth in his position. Finished ninth in his position now. Hang on.
Boom.
950 rushing 950 rushing yards, 11 rushing touchdowns, 51 receptions, 367 receiving yards, and a receiving touchdown. All right, this one's going to surprise people. Odell Beckham Jr., number 14, finished 8th in his position and 45 overall. Matt ended up missing the playoffs with him at 6-6 that year, right before he went on that hot streak of winning championships. Eddie Lacy comes in at number 13, who was number 6 in his position, number 15 overall, 1,178 rushing yards, 11 rushing touchdowns, 35 receptions, and 257 receiving yards. Number 12, Rob Gronkowski finished 5th in his position, 42 receptions, 564 receiving yards, and 10 receiving touchdowns as a rookie tight end. That's pretty good. Number 11,
oh my God,
RG3.
He's counting down for 20.
No, all right. Anyways, 5th is position, 3,200 passing yards, 20 touchdowns, only 5 picks, and then 815 rushing yards. All right, so number 10.
I always flip my lid when Patrick said, I'm going to run through these real quick. Number 18. like starting way back.
17, 16,
number 17,
15, 14, 15.
Hey, but that was like, what, 60 seconds we spent running through that?
No, those are cool. I'm surprised that some of those guys are on there, honestly. They should have been higher. So I'm excited to hear this.
Well, yeah, I mean, Odell Beckham, his numbers were very vanilla for what you think of OBJ now. Anyways, number 10.
Number 10.
Here we go. We had to do it a second time. We had to work our way to it. Is Derwin James, finished 5th in his position, 27th overall. Mafali made the playoffs with him, and Billy won the conference championship with him. Only averaged 5 points less than the number 1 DB last year. This guy, if you had him, he was a game changer for you. He was a guy that, I mean, I remember Jameson, you and I at least were talking about him in the offseason last year. Like, this guy's going to be good, but I don't think we realized how good he was going to be.
No, yeah.
Especially, I mean, just remarkable season, and a guy that I still think very highly of going into this
I was
coming
so
year.
pissed when Tampa Bay drafted Vita Vea instead of Derwin James when he was projected to go to Tampa since the very beginning. And then just all of a sudden, we just pass on him to get a 350-pound lineman. And here he goes to the Pro Bowl as a rookie. Like,
I remember
just
that.
Leave it to Tampa.
You were texting us. We were all like talking on the phone, and you were like, "Oh, here we go. This is it. They're with James." They were like Vita Vea. like you were just so upset. I remember that.
God.
I mean,
We all knew.
We were very spoiled. And I know for those of you that are new to IDP, you're probably after last season thinking, oh man, we got to spend a lot on rookie defensive players. But the data just doesn't support that. The data shows that predominantly rookie IDP players do not explode the way they did in 2018. That was a phenomenon. And you'll kind of see that. Yeah, it was definitely a fluke, to say the least. And Derwin James was a freak and ended up as number 10 on this list. Some of these other guys had even better years.
Number 9.
Guess not.
Guess not.
Number 9. All
right, number 8. Let's keep it going.
All right, number 9, Alfred Morris from 2012. I know everyone right now is probably either laughing or their jaws dropping as I say that. Alfred Morris finished 5th in his position that year. I didn't have the data to go look at his ranking in our league, but based off of standard scoring leagues in that time, he finished 5th overall, 2 out of all other positions. He had 1,613 rushing yards, 13 touchdowns, 11 receptions, and 77 receiving yards. The dude just killed it running the football. I mean, I know a lot of people probably forget him, especially that year, but he came out of the gate swinging, to say the least. And an excellent RB1 that year for sure.
It's fun to look back on because I forget about that. I forget about guys like Alfred Morris because they just kind of fell off so quickly, from their 1 or 2 good seasons. So that's kind of fun to look back on. I forgot he was that good.
Yeah, he was, and I don't know how to say it, but he kind of just disappeared like 2 years after that. Anything else?
No, not for me. Here we go.
Number 8.
Number 8 from 2015. You guys want to guess this one?
From 2015. Michael Thomas?
Your mom.
Nope and nope. Todd Gurley, who finished 5th in his position that year, 36 overall in our league. Matt ended up winning a championship with him. Todd Gurley had a great year. What he did that Alfred Morris didn't was he put up more receiving yards. He was a guy in our PPR format, was exceptional. To this day, he's very well. If you don't know who Todd Gurley is, you've been sleeping under a rock and you just don't know professional football.
Or college.
He had an excellent rookie. Yeah, and God, in college, can you go back and reimagine this? Todd Gurley and Sony Michel were on the same roster. Can you imagine that when you're the coach?
Was Nick Chubb there?
That's crazy. Yeah, he was.
Man, that's a talented backfield.
Yeah, I remember that as a Gamecock fan, just like, psh, all right, they're going to put up 250 rushing yards, and this is going to happen. That was my expectation.
Yeah, no, Todd Gurley's insanely talented. Great rookie season, kind of had a sophomore slump, and then crushed it in his 3rd year and his 4th year. He's been a fantasy stud ever since. So, man, if he's at number 8, I'm really excited to see 1 through 7. I'm kind of bummed that we have to wait till next week to find out who the first 5 are. But any thoughts, Isaac?
Nope.
I think Isaac died.
Yeah, what happened to Isaac? He just
he got real quiet real quick.
I was like, uh-oh, I lost them. Like, they're gone.
No, I'm still here. Thank God.
Isaac's falling asleep.
No,
All
dude,
right,
my computer was just being weird. I was like, oh God, don't go.
No, all right, here we go.
Number 7.
All right, this is a guy that some people are still going to shake their heads when they see him at 7, but it's Alvin Kamara from 2017. He also finished 5th in his position, 25th overall, and helped David Abortion Clinic make the playoffs, but wasn't good enough to help Peyton get in, unfortunately, which, if I remember right, didn't you start out with him, Jameson?
No, I did not. I passed up on getting him because I thought it was a one-hit wonder.
And
So
then I got him. I traded him
That's
because I thought he was
great.
one-hit wonder.
We all know Alvin Kamara today. He's an instant starter RB1. You plug him in, you're going to have a good game. The matchup doesn't matter as much. And his rookie year was just that. It really didn't matter who he played. He was putting up excellent numbers as a rookie.
Even splitting time
with
with Mark Ingram over the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, In fact, there's 2 running backs from the 2017 season on here, and we saw in 2018 there were some teams, including myself in another fantasy league, where we valued rookie running backs too highly, and guys like Rashad Penny were, I mean, what did Cameron get him with, like a 3rd pick?
Yeah.
4th round pick?
Isaac.
Like,
Yeah, 4th round pick.
3rd round. I think it was 3rd.
No,
I
it
got
was
him-
4th because he got the 1st pick of the 4th because he had done really well that year before, or the 2nd pick of the 4th. It was his early 4th, almost 3rd.
Bust.
I did something very similar in the league I'm in with Julio, and that was a mistake. God, I regret that. But those kind of years, we seem to really hop onto that train, that bandwagon. Oh man, these receivers were real good in 2011. AJ Green, Mike Evans.
why'd
Let's
you
go
s-
get us a receiver in
Who
2012.
talks
Why
like
did you
that?
sound like Macho Man Randy Savage? Oh yeah, Like,
Because, dude, it's the truth. Like, let's get these
Let's
tight
get
ends now.
the-
You know what I mean? Like,
Didn't Billy draft Geis with like his 2nd round pick, and then he got injured in preseason for the whole season?
no, I think it was
His
he got
4th
in the
round.
4th round, just
Yeah.
like
Oh,
Cameron
okay.
did.
It was high
Yeah.
pick though.
And that's why I say, like, you guys are talking about going 1st round rookie linebackers. Maybe they will be worth it, but you see these trends and you see people bite too hard on.
I'm not
certain
going after
positions every
trends.
year,
I'm
and-
just going after his talent.
So who is number 6? Like
Number 6.
these guys, Derwin James, Todd Gurley, Alvin Kamara. You can't have 6 better guys than these guys in their rookie season. There's no way.
Here's one for you: Kareem Hunt, also 2017.
Shout out me
Finished.
from drafted him.
That's right.
I knew you were gonna say that, dude.
He, Isaac only drafted 8 running backs that year. No big deal.
Yeah, only
You gotta get one of
he's
them
like,
right.
I hit on Kareem Hunt. You drafted them all, Isaac. You drafted them all.
Well, he was my number 1 priority. So yeah.
Kareem Hunt, 2017 draft, finished 3rd in his position that year as a rookie and 14th overall. Isaac and Jordan both made the playoffs with him. I think both of you guys ended up having him the majority of the 2018 season.
And then
too,
he
if I
kicked
remember
that
right.
woman video came up.
And then he kicked-
And then I had to go find
And
another
then-
running back one. Like, what the hell? What? Whose type of luck is that to get stuck with that? Of all the people that it could have happened to, of course, it had to be my best
Oh,
player.
man.
Well, I'm pretty sure, in all fairness, Isaac, that woman had a lot worse night than you did. In all fairness, you're like, all of the luck in the world is what happened to me.
I do not condone hitting women,
He's gonna
Now he's got
back it up
back pedal. Wait.
but she was calling him the N word. That's trashy. That's uncalled for. Granted, he should not.
We're not
kicked her.
gonna get in.
But I just
all
want to
of the-
state that fact.
Isaac's got to defend his boy now.
This fantasy player. It's weird how attached we get to our fantasy players. Like normally we'd be like, yeah, they did something, and then but when they're on our team, they're like, no, man, I don't know. They might not have done it. Yeah, they probably didn't do it. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's crazy.
Oh man. But yeah, that's our top 12.
Don't say
That's
top
our
12.
first
That's
12.
top 15 right there.
Top 15.
18,
Sorry.
18 through 10. Yeah, all the way to 6. I'm really excited for next week
Yep.
to see who the other 5 are.
How about this? So should we? What if this is our giveaway? Whoever can get as many of the top 5 correctly as possible wins the
That's good.
competition.
That's
Does
cool.
that sounds,
And what? Comment on the YouTube video. Whoever gets the most of the top 5
Yeah.
comments in the video.
You got for it to officially count. You have to comment on
No.
the video.
No. You can also
um,
do it on our group chat so everybody can see. Because
That gets kind
I
of
guess,
tough though
yeah.
because it starts to get like backed up. You know. If
Yeah,
there's,
then we're
like-
checking multiple places. Let's do YouTube. I want to get more people commenting and liking anyways. If it's not on YouTube, it doesn't count. Make sure you go in there, comment who you think, in no particular order, the top 5 players are going to be.
top 10 rookies in
I-
LCC, the top 5 rookies in LCC history.
but try to rank them in order.
Yep.
But we're not going to count against you.
Yeah, try to, but we're not. Yeah, it won't count against you. Maybe that'll be the tiebreaker if we get people that are tied.
and Isaac and I don't know these,
I guess-
so we can't help. Don't text us asking for help. So if anyone gets cheap
I'm
answers, we know
I'm
it's
playing
Patrick.
too. What you
So-
mean? I want to get my own signed
can't-
signature football. I mean, I can put it in my living room.
It's not a foot. It's not a
My
football.
own
It's memorabilia.
Okay, my
football.
own signed memorabilia then. Fine, whatever.
No, are we gonna tell them what the
No,
We
reward
can.
is?
No,
Yeah, we
no,
can.
no. Let it be a surprise.
No.
It's,
Okay.
it's like
All right, that's
you
fine.
won
right.
a brand new car.
It's not a brand new car.
Okay, we'll make it a surprise. I will
toy
say
car.
this though: it is literally signed by an NFL All-Pro, a guy who's it should
Possible
be
Hall of
an
Famer.
NFL Hall of
Yeah,
Famer. In my
possible Hall of
opinion.
Famer.
Yeah, potential NFL Hall of Famer. But yeah, it's totally free. All you gotta do is just guess as many right as possible. And for like the 2 people that listen outside of our league, we'll let you guys compete too, just to raise the bar for our own league and see if we can get more people
Anybody.
commenting.
Anybody
So,
listening. Like if you just happen to stumble across this on some weird website somewhere.
And listened all the
Anybody.
way for 55 minutes.
Listened
through.
all the way to the 55-minute point. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're on it too. Anyone that comments with the answers, whoever gets the most right or in the right order if you tie, gets the signed memorabilia.
And those that haven't been in the league since day one, just so you know what you're working with, years 2010 to 2018, rookie players and how they performed in fantasy.
Are these offensive?
No, we can give them a hint. There's 1 defensive player and 4 offensive players left.
All right. The game has been
Awesome.
set.
All right, you guys know the rules. Send them in. This is exciting. I'm really excited.
All right.
Oh, I gotta wait a week.
All right,
I'm excited
Pat.
for you guys.
So I want to hear this
Give
game
us
of the
the
week.
game of the week, man.
Oh yeah, man, I almost forgot about that one. I forgot. No,
It's
I'm
a
just
whirlwind
kidding.
of a
No,
show.
game of the week.
It's Kevin versus Bryson.
All right, bye guys.
Do we have a sound drop for this? Do we have a sound drop for this one? I can't remember.
No, we don't have one for that yet. I'll make one next week.
Get it together.
Here, I'll just
Together.
All right, Macho Man, I'll get it together. Here, I'll just play a random sound drop.
Hey, are you Dirty Mike and the boys?
There we go.
Oh, that's a
You got to do that's what
It's-
she said, man.
Oh, sorry.
That's what she said.
Boom. All right. Who was
All
it,
right.
Pat?
So, the game of the week for week 2 of the 2019 season
Kevin versus Bryson.
is none other. Nope. This actually has a long history. It is primetime players. That is Daquan versus Terrible Towels owned by Jade.
Hey,
Ooh.
nice.
I know some people are thinking like, oh, why Jade? Like Jade, like shouldn't even
Jade
be in the playoffs.
sucks.
But if you look at overall the history between these 2 teams, they're 2 good owners. Their head-to-head regular season record is 4-2. Jade's got the series, has outscored him by nearly 200 points, and has also beat Daquan twice in the playoffs. Daquan.
Bush.
Bush.
Macho Man. All sorts of nicknames on the show tonight.
No, it's gonna be a good one. It's one I'm super excited about. You look at their draft position too. I believe it's very similar, within 2-3 picks maybe in the first round. If you compare both draft orders, I think it's a very good game. I'm super excited about it. Jade's got the overall series, but Daquan has more success here recently, winning his division last year. Both teams winning their division. Both teams making the playoffs. Both teams trying to get back into it.
Awesome. No, that's exciting. That's going to be really exciting. Cool. Well, that's week 2 with that, guys. We are done. Do not forget to follow us at LC Clubhouse.
LCC.
LCC Clubhouse. Do not forget to comment on this video with your top 5 picks of LCC rookie history for your chance to enter to win signed memorabilia from a Hall of Famer, for potential Hall of Famer. And with that, guys, we are out. We'll see you next week. Say goodbye to the-